Now I bet I know exactly what you're going through. When you make your backswing, that club tends to go to the inside, stand up out of your posture, and then from there, it feels like it's all arms and hands. As we lose our posture, our hips kind of go toward the ball, and it's a little bit of a flip. That can be really, really frustrating. That's kind of this move where everything kind of levels out and then throws it at the ball. Now, even though that went fairly straight, it was very thin and probably 40 yards short of where I should normally be hitting it. Now, what do we want to do in the backswing? Well, I want to load up really powerfully. I want to feel like I stay in my posture. So as I rotate, I'm staying down on the ball. And that way when I'm coming in my downswing, I can have a lot of lag, a lot of forward shaft lean, and stay in my posture as I compress through this golf ball. That's really what you're seeing all the pros doing. And I'm going to give you one very quick, very simple drill to get that exact same feeling in your own swing. Let's go and get started. All right, so this is what I would call a lawnmower drill. You may have heard of a lawnmower drill before, but you've probably never heard of it like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab an alignment stick, and when I set up to this golf ball, I'm gonna imagine like I'm loading up with my left hand, like I'm gonna start a lawnmower, like one of the old school, you know, you pull the string to get the lawnmower to start. So as I'm in my posture here, let's go to the top of the swing. As I'm in my posture, if I was to reach out like this, that's really gonna ensure that I turn my shoulders and then I stay down. So then from there, I'm gonna kind of feel, okay, where would I need to be grabbing? If I was gonna imagine this is the lawnmower string and I'm gonna pull it right out of the handle of the lawnmower. So let's go ahead and set this in the ground, kind of like that. And you don't even have to use this stick if you don't want to. This is just a visual to kind of feel this. But what I would imagine here is I'm gonna set up to this golf ball. I'm gonna stay in my posture. So a great way to do this is to put your arms out. As you rotate, you can see where my shoulders are tilted. I've stayed in my posture. Now, a big thing for distance, really, really big, is that I have to let my hips turn. I can go ahead and loosen this left leg up if you're not very flexible. I let my hips turn, and from there, I'm gonna imagine that my shoulders are really loading up and rotating. Now, if I'm reaching out to grab that lawnmower string, that's kind of like this alignment stick here. That's my backswing. Now, as I make my downswing, all I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull that string on the same line as my shoulders. So my shoulders are tilted. I'm gonna stay tilted in the downswing, and I'm gonna pull this way. So I've reached to grab the string in the backswing, and then I've pulled that string out of the ground, really rotating on through in the follow through. So it's just like a reach, grab, and then pull everything on through. That's really what the golf swing is. So I'm gonna do that same feeling here as I make my backswing. Once really slow so you can see it. So the backswing is gonna be that reach and pull, that same feeling. Although my arms are gonna be moving back now, it's my shoulder. Almost another way to envision this is, imagine there's a string tied to your left shoulder, and as you go into the backswing, that's gonna be attached to that lawnmower string, and you're gonna pull with this left shoulder, pull the string with your body. So two great visuals there to really get loaded up, stay in your posture, and get a whole heck of a lot of power in your backswing. Ooh, I couldn't hit that one any better. Just barely left of the flag. Now that's gonna solve the majority of the problems in your backswing. You're not gonna suck it to the inside anymore because that would level out the shoulders. You're not gonna stand up out of your posture because you wouldn't be able to reach that shoulder down if you did that. And then also in the downswing, it's gonna keep you feeling very powerful by opening the body. Remember, if I'm gonna pull that string out of there, I have to open my body to make that happen. But there's a problem with this. Almost every single player, when they do this drill, is going to have that face open in the downswing. So as they open their body, the face is pointing way out to the right. Now, there's a special way that you use your wrist. You have to do this to make sure that you square up the club face. But I want to turn my wrist so that this left wrist is bowed, like we've all seen, and my right wrist does a covering action. Now when I do that and I add that to that body motion we just did, that's going to allow me to have a square face and even hit a little bit of a draw no matter how much I turn my body open. And I call that the tennis racket drill. I'm gonna play a preview of that drill here in a second. All you need to do is go ahead and click on the card that pops up on your screen somewhere here. If you don't see the card, don't worry. Go ahead and go down to the description, click on the link there, and you'll get instant access to this drill. So now that we've learned this lawnmower move, how to stay in our posture, how to get tons of power from our body, how to really load up, we have to learn how to square up this face. If you can put both those together, hey, you're in business. You're ready to play some really daggone good golf. So best of luck, and I'll see you in the tennis racket drill. Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it, the flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time, I'm going to be